Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Vikings Central. As everyone knows, the Los Angeles Rams just won the Super Bowl, beating the Cincinnati Bengals 23-20, and a somewhat thrilling game, a really thrilling game down to the wire. Matthew Stafford started out really good, got a little shaky towards the middle of the game, but made big throws at the end while it mattered the most. And Joe Burrow was gimping around a little bit at the end, and their offensive line just couldn't take care of Von Miller, Aaron Donald, and pretty much anyone else. So, that was kind of the story of the game. But Kevin O'Connell, your future head coach of the Minnesota Vikings, is now a Super Bowl winning offensive coordinator, bringing that ring with him to Minnesota. And I'm really excited to get Kevin O'Connell here. Just a brilliant young mind, draws up all the passing plays, pass game coordinator, draws up the plays and the designs of everything having to do with the Rams offense. So it's just awesome to bring that here to Minnesota, with Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen if he's still here, Irv Smith Jr. when he's healthy, KJ Osborne, Amir Smith-Marset, Delvin Cook out of the backfield, Kene Nwangwu. Just weapons all over the place, and I think he's going to use them to our best advantages. But there's still a question as is Kirk Cousins going to be here in the long run? Is he even going to be here this year? And I think it's a really interesting thing to look at. But I think Kevin O'Connell can win with Kirk Cousins. I really do. It might not be this year because there's going to be a lot of roster turnover. But if he does sign, another extension 2-3 years down the road, once we build this roster back up, if he's still around, Kevin O'Connell can win a Super Bowl with Kirk Cousins. If Matt Stafford can do it, Kirk Cousins can do it with, a good roster, obviously. It takes, all 53 guys on the roster to go win a Super Bowl. That's just common sense. But, at the same time, Kevin O'Connell can coach up, design these great play calls, call a good game, just be really creative, something we haven't had in Minnesota for the longest time. I think it's just going to be a welcome sight. And if Kirk Cousins is here, I think he's going to get the best out of him. Obviously, Matt Stafford, he had a lot of turnovers this year, but he played winning football when it mattered the most. And I think if Stafford can do that, Kirk Cousins can do that. He takes better care of the football than Matt Stafford. When he wants to be aggressive, he can just be as aggressive as Matt Stafford. He can make every single throw. And people say, well, when the big game comes on, he shrinks. He shrinks. Well, in New Orleans in 2019, he didn't shrink. He led the team to a win at the Superdome. Huge victory. We went and lost to San Francisco, but we were just outmatched. That had nothing to do with Kirk Cousins. That was a conservative approach by Mike Zimmer, and Kevin Stefanski was already worried about the Cleveland Browns head coaching job. So I think it's pretty simple. Kirk Cousins is a very good quarterback. Kevin O'Connell gets the best out of quarterbacks. And I think the ceiling of Kirk Cousins is up here with Kevin O'Connell, where it was down here with Mike Zimmer because Mike Zimmer didn't allow him to control aspects of the game. Obviously, the locker room wasn't in a good situation. The front office wasn't in a good situation with Rick Spielman, Mike Zimmer. It just wasn't, a winning culture. I know culture gets thrown around a lot, but it just wasn't a winning culture. And I think Kevin O'Connell will bring that along with Ed Donatel on the defense side of the football. Wes Phillips, if he does come along as offense coordinator, he's been in a football family ever since probably he was born. And, having to win a Super Bowl this year with the Rams, they're going to have that experience. They're going to have, that idea of what a Super Bowl winning team looks like. And I think that's going to get the best out of Kirk Cousins if he is here. We don't know what's running things of Kevin O'Connell, Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah, the important minds of the operation. But if Kirk Cousins is part of the plan, I'm expecting really damn good football out of him. I can't wait to see what this offseason looked like. There's going to be a lot of changes. There's going to be a lot of excitement. There's going to be a lot of questions. But that just makes it all that much more fun. Can't wait to see what happens. Guys, Kevin O'Connell is going to be introduced this week. It's a new era of Vikings football.